What's going on, everybody? I know I haven't done one of these in a while. It's kind of impromptu. I got to work on a little floor and maybe a couple of benches, so I had a little time. Friday night, not really doing anything else. Figured I'd pop on here for a bit. Not entirely sure if I'm talking to myself, but if I am, that's fine. I do that plenty of times when the camera is not on anyway. Let's see. Don't know if the volume is good or if that is too loud with that music. Testing, 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 testing. I don't know. As far as the levels go, it looks like it's alright. We're just going to leave it for now. Okay. It's a bit of a delay. So I got that, let's see. I got that ruined church thing I'm doing behind me, and I gotta do a little, just a piece of floor, not the, gonna do a whole floor, but just a floor section. You know, it's gonna be ruined, and then maybe some busted up stone benches or something for that as well. Maybe I'll just start with the floor, because I'm not really sure what I want to do with these benches. I'm gonna probably put like some kind of trim on them when I do that. Yeah, let's just start with the floor. I'm just gonna go super simple. Yeah. Pen and see if that works. It's been a while since I've been on here, so there's no kind of make sure, yep, set. I couldn't even remember exactly how to set everything up, so I hope everything is going okay. Just gonna do some, I think some, I don't know, basic like squares. I'm kind of feeling like squares for this. Maybe, you know, ruined squares that are kind of busted up a little bit. Nothing too fancy. How am I supposed to square this? Yeah, I can't, so I guess I'm just gonna do it by eye. That's fine. It's a ruin. It doesn't have to be perfect. Hope that's coming through okay. Give me a second here. Let me see. Where's my phone? Maybe I'll go live on Instagram at the same time for a moment. See if I can pull a few people in. That seems like a lot of work. Ah, screw it. Maybe later. So yeah, I keep thinking like I need to do more lives. For a little while there, I was doing them, and there started to be a couple of people regularly showing up. But you know how it is. Whenever you stop, people find other things to do with their time, which is totally normal. Be expected. And I was always very random with it, you know, hence the name, random diorama. It's in the name. But I need to, if I'm gonna do it, just set a time and stick with it. But I always want to have something to work on, and I don't always necessarily, if I'm trying to film something for YouTube or for Instagram Reels, I don't want to necessarily use that in live because it's just hard to film for multiple things at once. So I don't know. I'm still just an unorganized mess. Camera makes everything a little bit more. You got to think about everything a little bit more. Wants to say hello, feel free to say what's up in the chat. I'll try and read the comments. Duffman, what's up, buddy? Long time no see. Well, I don't know exactly. I mean, I do know, but I don't know if this is going to be the final thing. I'm just making a section of floor for that ruined cathedral church thing behind me. So it's just going to be like a section of ruined floor squares with the stone. It's all going to be kind of like busted up with some moss and maybe some weeds popping up through it or something. Hey, Briscoe, what's up, man? What are you guys up to tonight? Getting ready for bed or waking up? Way too uniform to me. It's bothering me. It's a little better. Oh, dude. Yeah, shipping, that's the thing with the big dioramas. Shipping them is crazy. I haven't ever done anything super big just for that reason. I end up building things and I just kind of want to keep them for myself. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing on that front, but Duffman, I'm trying to remember if I saw that forest. Is that the one with the... Are you using the paper towel tubes with the hot glue? Or is that somebody else? Forests seem to be popular right now. A lot of people doing those. And yeah, Briscoe. That's basically what I'm doing too. I'm pretty much done with the daily tasks. Been meaning to get on here. I really need to set a time to come on here and just start doing it, but Jurassic Park Predator Dio. Cool. Sounds cool. Anytime you make anything repetitive, a lot of trees, a lot of crates, it looks good. Anything repeat, you know, it almost always looks good. Oh yeah, okay, that might have been Vasco. Yeah, go ahead and send me some pics, man. I'm always down to look at stuff like that. So many different ways to do trees. I like Vasco Toys' his intro. Vasco Toys! I like that voice. Very memorable. Take a look at what you got here. Okay, yeah, those are cool, man. It's a lot of work. Are those actual... I can't tell if those are actual tree branches or is that plastic tree branches that you glued to it. I think those are actual tree branches, right? Very cool. They're huge. Like super huge. Anytime you go in, oh, they're plastic. Anytime you go in and try and add the foliage on those, oh man, that's just, it just turns into a, yeah, like how do you ship that? Because that's fragile, man. You know, you gotta be like, really careful packing it. That's kind of why I just decided to... I saw a couple of people, but the one that really struck me was Lawless Studios. He was making just the tree trunk trees, and I was like, you know what? I don't need foliage. I don't. The tree trunks look cool. But the foliage does look cool. And there was another guy who just recently did some... And he used like cherry blossoms or something, and that looked really, really good. He had like a picture of a bridge or something with, he did trees with like little flower blossoms all over it. The scale wasn't quite right, but it didn't matter. It still, it came out. It was close enough that it looked cool. Look at the dino. Let me see. Yeah, man, I don't know exactly how big that dinosaur is, but what are those things, like 18 inches tall or something like that?
Perfect.
32 inches. How are you gonna ship that, dude? Oh, man. I hope they're paying for shipping and you didn't include it in the price. I mean, I've done that before. I've made that mistake. Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. All right, Duffman. I'll look at it in a minute, man. I don't want to keep picking up the phone. I feel like I'm being neglectful here. Maybe I can pull it up on my other screen. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and you better hope that those boxes don't get banged around. Oh yeah, that dinosaur is huge, dude. I thought that thing was significantly smaller than that. Yeah, it's like the size of a 6-year-old. Maybe more. Look at that. These squares are totally out of whack, and I don't care because it doesn't matter. It's a ruin. It's fine for it to be out of whack. Yeah, I checked it out though. I pulled it up on the screen. You want me to show Briscoe what it looks like real quick? I could put it on the screen if you don't mind. What's up, Not So Super Mario? Long time no see. Sure, let's see here. Real quick. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, it's disappearing messages. Use Instagram to see this type of message. Alright, well, I tried. If they were really quick, they could have saw that dinosaur. Disappearing messages. Oh, that's what they put that Snapchat-like thing in Instagram. I don't usually use that too much. I don't think I use it at all. Right on, man. How long you been working on that? That's got to have been taking a while, huh? Yeah, Briscoe. Briscoe's quick with it. You could always just slide the video back a little bit and pause it for a second. Yeah, the dino's huge, the trees are huge. He's turned his dining room into Jurassic Park. Complete and total madman. So you guys got any streams you've been watching lately on the YouTubes? Anything cool? I've been hanging out in What a Funk sometimes and Hella Dope on Sundays. Yeah, man, that's a lot of trees. What is this guy gonna do with that? Because that takes up a lot of room. Like, most people usually don't want something that big, because he must have extra space. Yeah, Oilers is good, man. Oilers is always dropping all kinds of tips and techniques for sure. Oh, sweet. Okay. So he's got a whole lot of space dedicated over there. I'm always trying to figure out where to put stuff. Take a corner out or something. Hero Quest? Yeah, they did re-release Hero Quest, huh? Haven't played Hero Quest since I was a kid. I used to have it. I still have some of the miniatures floating around. And then I also played a Warhammer Quest, which is like the beefier version of Hero Quest. I'm really, really tempted to get Diablo 4. Really thinking about that. I know Grizz and possibly some of the other guys from What a Funk might be playing Diablo 4. But the problem with that is if I get Diablo 4, my productivity is going to just fall off because I will be probably on that game way, way too much. Oh, sweet. Have you been playing it in person, or do people just play it mostly somehow online now? This blade is dull. I really need to replace it. I keep meaning to get into maybe playing some in-person tabletop games or something again, but it's just finding people and then the time. Comic shops, I know you can go to some comic shops, but it's always kind of weird. At first, anyway. Right on. I mean, I don't think I ever once saw anyone play with painted miniatures, honestly, back when that game was out. I mean, I didn't even realize it was a Games Workshop property because it was sold, you know, at Toys R Us. It was just, I think, a Milton Bradley game. And so people just took it out of the box and played it. I also had Battle Masters. That was the other one that was kind of like that, but it was the broader, basically like Warhammer Fantasy Battles light. Eduardo, Brazil, what's up, buddy? What time is it in Brazil? It's got to be way different. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be way different. It's 11:36 p.m. here in Texas. Yeah, Battle Masters I never actually played it with anyone. I had it. I had the mat. I had all the pieces. The tower I actually painted up and used as terrain in Warhammer like years later. And I had, what did I use from there? I had some Bretonnian Knights and some Archers that I used in Warhammer Fantasy Battle at one point, I think. But they had these giant bases that were, you know, basically unit trays, and you would put 5 knights on the base. But like I said, those games, I never saw anyone play with them painted. But Hero Quest would probably look awesome painted up. 1:31 a.m. No, it's not too bad. Not too bad, not too bad. The more jacked up this is, the better it's going to look. So I'm just going to keep taking stuff away. And I'll probably put a ton of moss on this too. Isn't it just crazy with just a little bit of weathering and some rocks due to foam? Completely changes the look. This is crazy how that works. Gorka Morka, I do remember it, but I can't remember how it played. I had a Bombers over the Sulphur River game that someone gave me for, I think it was my birthday or something back then, back when all that orky stuff was a thing. I had, like, man, I had Mordheim, I had Battlefleet Gothic, Warhammer Quest, Warhammer Fantasy Battles, Warhammer 40k, of course. I never had Blood Bowl, never played it, although I saw it played a lot. I feel like I'm forgetting something. How'd that Gorka Morka go? Was it... I can't remember exactly. I remember the name of it so clearly, but... Oh, we played Space Hulk a few times, too. Necromunda. Yeah, I had Necromunda. Speaking of Warhammer, have you seen... Hold on, let me grab this thing. Have you seen these Joy Toys? I don't know if you checked it out on Instagram. I did a reel and some stuff on them, but these things are freaking cool. Ultramarines Venerable Dreadnought. I mean, it's crazy. Like, you don't have to paint it or anything. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of nostalgic to me. Although this isn't the style of Dreadnought that they had when I played. It was just the solid front. Please send me one Dr. Pepper. An orc ship that crashes and they split into 2 rifle factions, Gorka and Morka. I never played it, but I remember it being around. Yeah, Briscoe, this stuff it's pretty cool. So that's the Dreadnought, and then I have some Blade Guard veterans also. A couple of those guys. And all the accessories and stuff so far have been really, really cool. I like the paint apps. It's got, like, you know, nice reflective paint where it needs it. And these are actually the same figure, and they're interchanged. Like, this is just has extra parts on it. They have a, you know, one gun with a holster, one without. So for when he's holding the gun, you can have the unholstered, empty holster. So, yeah, pretty cool. This thing, it's a little bit finicky, but it's really like a statue. You could just move around. So all that can move. This kind of impressed me though. See these little struts down here? They actually all move in and out of each cylinder, which I was pretty surprised at that actually. $450 of new figures and new PlayStation 4. Alright, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. It's hard sometimes. It's hard sometimes. People don't like, they don't realize what you put into it, but it sounds like you got a good relationship with this person, so that's excellent. Yeah, Briscoe, you know, I'm not a big toy collector, but I actually really like these. I do. It's just very nostalgic for me to have Warhammer. The only thing is I wish they had some Dark Angels. They got Space Wolves, they have Blood Angels, they got crazy, like, salamanders and stuff. But mostly it's Ultramarines, Blood Angels, Space Wolves, and I think it's Thousand Suns, the Chaos. They have some orc stuff, and there's some Sisters of Battle. But no Dark Angels? Come on, man. Dark Angels were the first Legion. It's messed up. I used to play Dark Angels, if you can't tell. Yeah, Briscoe, like I said, I've been liking them. Full disclosure, I get them as promos, so I can make reels and stuff for them, for the toy company. They give me a little bit here and there. But as far as the stuff I've gotten, I really do like these. Not big into Marvel Legends or Star Wars or any of that stuff. Although having, like, you know, a couple of figures around, like I have a Batman, I have some... I need a Spider-Man. I do need to get a Spider-Man. That dried reindeer Duffman, I mean, if you find something, that's cool, because I honestly, everything I've tried to make trees out of, it's always fragile. I mean, sometimes you can get things to stick a little better, but it's a pain in the butt. DJ5Ash, dioramas are a labor of love. Love your channel. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, dioramas are, you spend some time on them sometimes, that's for sure. That is for sure. Anybody else working on dioramas besides Duffman? Duffman dioramas, it's kind of a giveaway. He's probably has a diorama or two he's working on. But yeah, Duffman, those trees are really cool. It's actually pretty unique. I haven't seen, I don't think I've seen any quite like that. So that's always cool. You got to experiment. That's half the hobby, as you know. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And Briscoe, at any time, if you do feel like you want to buy some of those, there's a link in the description of this video and on my Instagram for 10% off at Entertainment Earth. As long as they're in stock, you can get 10% off with my code. And of course, I appreciate when anyone uses my code because I get a little bit of money for art supplies from that. A little bit. Box of cannons. I did some really basic brick walls for a few friends to put their action figures in. Awesome. You know, that's what you start with. Start with anything. And basic brick walls look awesome in photos in comparison to having nothing, right? And whenever you make something, you always kind of feel pretty cool about seeing it in pictures. So it's kind of a neat feeling. I think it's really good to have some kind of crafty, creative, productive kind of hobby that goes along with the toy collecting. There's nothing wrong with toy collecting, but you know, it's very it's like, you know, kind of consumer. You're just buying stuff, and you get some joy out of it. You know, it's like smoking crack for 3 seconds. You're like, oh, I love this. All right, need another one. But you know, it's good to have some creative stuff to kind of balance with it, I think. Heck yeah, Briscoe. I appreciate it. It's code RANDOMDIO. The link will give it to you automatically, or so, box of cannons, are you planning on making any more dioramas? And Duffman, how long do you think it's going to take you to wrap it up? Yup, exactly, Duffman. That's exactly how it goes. And then soon you're wondering, how are you going to sleep tonight because there's no room on your bed because it's covered in pink styrofoam? Eduardo, I am in the DFW area. So, outside of Dallas. Warehouse Cobra base for my G.I. Joe Classified. Nice. Nice, yeah. It's really cool that now that they have the 6-inch G.I. Joes, you're seeing more and more dioramas in that scale. So many, lots of cool ideas and settings that come from, you know, that can go with G.I. Joe, so that's pretty cool. Warehouse sounds good. table, it will be several weeks. Oh yeah, the old epoxy resin. Nice, going all out. I have a love-hate relationship with epoxy, but I'm sure you do too. It can look awesome, but it can be a lot of hassle. And when it goes bad, it goes way bad. And I hope I didn't make this too thin. It still looks okay. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's cool. Totally normal. Is this thing gonna bow like crazy when I paint it? It might. It might. I might end up having to glue it to a thin sheet of MDF if it does that. I could have made it out of 1-inch foam. I don't know why. I was just like, it's a floor. It'll look cooler if it's thinner. It doesn't have to be so thick. Cobra Trouble Bubbles. Man, I don't remember those. Can't remember what that's referring to. Haven't really watched any G.I. Joe since I was a kid, though. Not really big into it. I did get Cobra Commander in the classifieds, but that's about it. Would be kind of cool to have a HISS tank. Would be kind of cool, but I'd probably want the OG. Get something. Of course, that's the small scale. Camp Crystal Lake. Yeah. Yeah, I do thinner pours now often because sometimes I got a little carried away. A bubble pod thing. I don't know. It's not sticking out of my mind. They kind of like, I don't know. They had lots of glass pods and stuff in that, so I'm not exactly. I'll look them up here in a minute. No worries. Okay, see, DJ 5-Ash is not messing around with the classifieds, dude. He's got like doubles and triples coming. You might have to order one from him if you want one. Nice. Yeah, so vehicles are so cool in 1/12 scale. Unfortunately, much of the same problem as dioramas. Where the heck do you put them? Like, there's only so much room. You gotta have either just like a really large space, or I don't know, live completely alone in a normal size space. I guess if you have an outbuilding or something like that, or a basement would be nice. There's almost no basements in Texas, though. I'm in an apartment right now anyway, so not that that would apply. I think I'm gonna break apart all of these edges a little bit. Yeah, that looks cooler. Anyone thinking about playing Diablo 4 at all, or nah, no PC gamers? Or it's on console now too, actually. Yeah, I mean, Duffman, seriously, if I could, and it might start happening in one of my... I have a garage downstairs that I cleared out part of. I want to set up something huge and just add a little bit until it's crazy. I'd like to do some kind of maybe city style, but it might be more like I don't know if I guess cyberpunk is kind of the right word for it. You know, like Shadowrun, something like that, or like some kind of crazy science fiction or fantasy. That's possible too. I've always wanted to make a big foam castle. I've never made anything too big, but 1/12 scale, I don't know, man. That I might have to make some decisions there, because you just can't do too much in 1/12 scale. I mean, if you try to build a castle in 1/12 scale, oh my goodness. I've never even done the math on what that would be, but that would have to be insane, like the size of it. Briscoe. Yeah, I think it will work on my Xbox One, which I haven't even had hooked up in like a year or two. Yeah, it might have been like 2 years, so I gotta find it first wherever I put it, and then see if there's enough room on there for me to install it. Box of Cannons, Shadowrun was a good game. I didn't play the tabletop that much. I had sat in, like, I didn't even play through like a whole campaign or anything. I just sat in on a few sessions, I remember, barely. But I did play the Super Nintendo game back in the day, and that was one of my favorites. I still have it, actually. I still have that old SNES cart for Shadowrun. It's another game I'd like to play through again. It's really, really cool. A lot of those SNES games, man, they just are so interesting in the way they were made. Really set the groundwork for a lot of games that came later. Watch Jason Jensen trains as he has sci-fi there. No, I haven't, but I will take a look at that. Always looking for, you know, inspiration and cool stuff. Usually I spend time on, well, obviously Instagram, YouTube, but Pinterest. Pinterest is really cool for finding stuff like that. I've been trying to go to sleep earlier. My monitor is actually switching to night mode right now. Turn that off. Shadowrun is a classic. Briscoe, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't even know what cyberpunk kind of hacker style game came before. I'm sure there was something, but I don't know what it is. I mean, you had FAFSA Battletech. You ever play Battletech, the old box set of Battletech with the miniatures? We used to play that back in the day. That was pretty fun. And then there were some, oh man, what was it? Succession Wars, which had all the major houses at a certain time frame, because there's lots of different time periods in Battletech and where things took place. But it was all paper tokens, just like this giant galactic game of Risk, basically, with more complicated rules. Yeah, all those old tabletop games are really, really fun, but they were crazy convoluted, and you usually couldn't finish them in one sitting. Or if it was, you know, one sitting, it was like some epic amount of time, like 9 hours or something. You're there like 3 in the morning trying to finish a game. Lots of fun, though. 112 castles would be huge. Castle walls are between 15 to 30 feet tall, so 15 to 30 inches. Yes, it would be a lot of real estate. And you could cheat the room on it a little bit, you know, like when most people build apartment buildings and stuff for 112 dioramas for action figures. They cheat a little bit on how tall each story is. It's very, very common. Sometimes they'll make the first floor the actual like 10 or 12 feet that it would be, or 9 feet. I don't remember. I think it's 10 or 12 feet for a story, somewhere in there. And then the higher floors, they'll just kind of condense them down if it's a facade, just to make it passable. He is going to have his own workroom where his arsenal toys. Very cool. Very cool. DJ 5 Ash, how big is that diorama that you're building, the warehouse? I mean, Duffman is already building Jurassic Park big enough to put actual freaking dinosaurs in, so I'm not going to be surprised if you tell me it's like half the size of a bedroom or something, but hopefully it's not quite that crazy. I didn't even ask you guys, is the music too loud, too low? We okay with that? It sounds okay to me, but it's always hard to tell. Shadowrun, Cyberpunk 2020. Nice. Music is good. Thank you, Briscoe. Yeah, I never played Cyberpunk 2020. There was a crazy game I played a few times. This older kid I knew in high school played it. And then I had a roommate later in life that played it. I played it with a couple of times, called Gamma World. I don't know if you guys have ever, if anyone knows Gamma World, that's probably wild, because I don't think it was like super, super big, but it might have been. Crazy, crazy game, kind of like Fallout, post-apocalyptic. I just remember there was nutso ability traits you could take, like you could be a mutated thing that had berries that grew on the outside of you that you could eat to cure radiation sickness, or so. I don't know, it was just really out there. Very, very strange. Music is good volume. Thank you, Box of Cans. Thank you for the input. Appreciate that. Needs more weathering. Nice. Briscoe, have you looked into, I I see people now playing on live streams where they're playing Dungeons and Dragons using something called Roll20, which I haven't used, but some people have. I've seen people using it, and a guy at work told me that he uses it on Discord with a group of people. I don't know, that seems like it might be kind of cool. Actually get kind of like a long distance game going, because you know, as you know, with tabletop games, the hardest thing is getting people to show up for consecutive sessions. Nice. Nice. That's a big diorama. I like the multi-layer. It's very cool. DJ5 Ash, do you put any of that stuff, like do you post on Instagram or anything like that? Do I light my dioramas with LEDs? Occasionally I'll use like lights. I've used dollar store lights, I've used like some rope lights, but usually these days, honestly, not so much, because I have a bunch of different lights for taking pictures. So if I want to light something, I'll just kind of leave it transparent and I'll angle lights. I mean, I have tons of, you know, like I got little guys like this, like, yeah, I'm blocking the screen. There we go. You know, they have all these different brands. The Loom Cube is the expensive one, which I don't have any of those, but all these little different jobbies, and the variety in them now, because this is a pretty inexpensive light where you could go through the whole, let me see, where is it? You know, they go through the whole color spectrum. So usually if I'm lighting something, I have maybe like 5 or 6 different lights like this, but in different styles. So I'll just set them up. As you can see, man, that looks so cool like that. Light does so much. The original JTG. Is that John? John, is that you? And yes, those lights are badass. And they come in all different styles now. Like, that's an older one. Here's one of the newer ones. It's got a jog wheel on the back of it. How you doing, John? What's up, man? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I like the jog wheel because I can... Oh, this one, hold on, let me get the right... There we go. Because you could just kind of reach over and circle through the color temperatures and also the colors really quick. The only thing is, this particular model, I kind of don't like... It needs one more button so you could switch between temperature and intensity. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. Yeah, usually you can adjust intensity and temperature. But those kinds of lights, awesome, awesome. Get yourself a few little tripods, even just a little micro Polaroid or whatever brand makes those mini tripods, or some of those clamp-on arms. That's what this camera's on right now. They're pretty cheap, maybe 20 bucks, and you can set up all your lights and stuff. Of course, in LEDs in the diorama for some things look awesome. Like if you're doing cyberpunk stuff, you got to have some glowy stuff in there. Science fiction, spaceships and stuff. But lots of times you can just leave like a transparent panel and throw one of those lights behind it at an angle if you build it with that in mind. DJ5 Ash, yeah, those are all from Amazon, man. All from Amazon. So, what brand is this? Yeah, these are both Ulanzi. I think this one's Small Rig, which is another one of the brands. And hold on, let me show you the coolest one I got. I gotta take my headphones off. And I have lots of other lights also, like fairy lights, and sometimes I buy like the dollar store lights. I have a bag of those, Halloween lights, all kinds of stuff. Well, first, this little guy right here, he doesn't have a lot of options as far as what the output is. You just kind of hold it down and you have several intensities that you can cycle through. But it comes with a whole freaking kit, man. I mean, you got the little spotlight, so if you want to like make just a specific spot on a figure or something, or like, you know, Batman just has a police helicopter on him or something like that. Comes with a barn door attachment, and it has little magnets on it, so you can just put everything on it. So there's so many options with lighting these days for toy photography and for smaller stuff. Super, super cool. And all of these are, you know, lithium-ion rechargeable batteries built into them. This one also has a diffuser that it comes with, kind of chill the light down a little bit, and a whole bunch of gels, so you can actually change the color output by putting a gel on there, and then it has like a little magnetic holder to hold the gel in place. But right now, this one is it's Ulanzi, but it's VIJIM. This is my favorite light right now. It's just basically a copy of the Lume Cube stuff, or in that style. The diffuser on it. Turn it on. And it's got 2 dials on the side, and this is what I'm talking about. Like right here, you can adjust the color temperature, and it tells you right there what it's doing. And then you have another dial to adjust the intensity right next to it. So it's super, super easy. And then you can switch over to the RGB mode and do the same thing, where you're going through all your different colors. Really, really cool. Super useful. This one has some crazy features too. If you're doing videos, it's got all these different effects like strobing and faulty bulb. There's a cop car and there's a lightning one I've used on some stuff. Like here, this is TV. Let's see if it looks like TV. Gotta turn the intensity down. So that's supposed to be like a TV, what a TV would reflect on someone. And yeah, I could see it. That would look cool if you had some figures sitting on a sofa facing a wall with a TV, and just have this off to the side. Yeah, let me see what else. We got fireworks. Yeah, lightning. This one I've used. I did a Mario little story video on Instagram, and I used this lightning effect when he was outside in the storm, you know. But yeah, these things are really cool, and they've come down in price a lot, because when they first came out, like the Lume Cube stuff was like a couple $100 often, or 100 in the triple digits. You can get them for a fraction of that these days. Retro 80s, early 90s cyberpunk, not the super crazy. Yeah, Briscoe, for sure. Captain Spaulding Museum and Gas Station diorama. Did wired 75 LED diodes into that diorama. Yeah, wow, that's a lot. No doubt. All those little wires. DJ 5 Ash for sure. For sure. And you know, man, it's always cool to post pics. There's no problem. You'd be surprised, like, sometimes people find value in stuff like that. Everyone starts somewhere, and this hobby, you get really quick you can make a lot of progress. I mean, lots of times if you just spend a little time with it, it's kind of surprising what you can bust out. Okay, is this about good? I mean, this is pretty damaged already. What needs a whack? You? Whack. Sorry if that's really loud on the microphone. Whack. Oh, you know, it's crazy. Seeing it on the camera actually gives me a totally different perspective than if I was looking at it right in front of me. Damage this a little bit. Done here. Done with this, and I'll see what I'm going to do with those benches that I need. DJ 5 Ash, if you post anything, feel free to tag me or show me them on Instagram if you're on there at all. It's always cool to see what other people are up to. Like Duffman and his crazy Jurassic Park diorama he's working on right now. Pretty good. I think that'll work. Once we paint it up, maybe I'll foil ball the edges a little bit. Whatever's going on here, doesn't look right. It's too uniform. Too smooth. There we go, that looks better. Duffman, absolutely. You know, and sometimes people like, it used to be a lot worse, although I don't see it too much anymore. People would get mad like, oh, you know, you copied me or something like that. And I understand that feeling because I had it happen to me quite a few times where I could tell someone like looked at what I did and they did exactly what I did. But then, you know, I started having people contact me and say, hey, I really liked something you did. Look, I tried to make it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And that was before I started doing tutorial videos. And then once I started doing that, obviously, lots of people send me pictures of things they made. And yeah, it's cool. It's cool. That's how it is. It all evolves. In comparison to when I first started looking at this stuff in like 2014 and 15, the amount of information that's been shared and the people and techniques that different people have come up with, it's crazy. Like, it's totally cool. The original JTG, which stands for John the Great, for those of you that don't know. Yeah, John, this is the floor for that cathedral ruin behind me. So it's not going to be like a total floor, because there'll be a grass mat or something down. But this will be the floor that's going to get shipped out when I ship that. And there's going to be another piece, a wall piece I'm going to build over here that I'm going to put a window into. That I need to start the video on, and I could do some of that here, but I'm not going to because I want to make a YouTube video out of that. So I'm probably going to spend most of tomorrow working on that, and I'll try to get that video in the next 3 to 4 days, hopefully, would be good. EJ5 Ash, yes, those RGB lights are freaking awesome. I mean, when I got those, it was like a game changer, honestly. Really, really good stuff. So, Duffman, that I'm not going to put windows in. It's just ruined. And it kind of doesn't fit, but he wanted a window, and we talked about it, and I forgot that he wanted a window, honestly. So I was like, oh, it's just going to be ruined, no windows. But I'm doing a circular window, and I have part of it, although I'm going to make another one for the purposes of making the video. Goodness, I don't even know where it is. But I basically took a piece of styrene and I used a compass and drew like a circle and some stuff on it. So it's going to be like about that big circular window of styrene. And then I have some clear frosted acrylic that I'm going to glue on the back of that and then just frame the whole thing in styrofoam and make it like a ruin. It's not going to make much sense why the stone is all broken around it, but the window is still intact. But if anyone asks me, long ago, there was an apprentice that was making a window, and he fell in love with a beautiful girl who happened to be a sorceress, and he died at the end of making the church. His master was very cruel to him. But because she loved him so much and was not wanting to let him go, she cast a powerful enchantment over this window to make sure that even though all the stones around it would crumble, the window would never break. So that's what I'll tell someone if they ask me why there's a window in the ruin. So I hate when people like try to, why is that there? Like, all right, it's fantasy. It could be any reason I want. So that's the reason. Let me see if I have that window. Hold on. I don't know. Stained glass windows. Yes, of course, Duffman. It looks like it should have stained glass windows in it. You're right. Everyone is saying that. But I didn't really build it to frame out with windows. It's a little rough on the back, even though the front looks pretty good. And I don't really have a good method for doing stained glass windows. I have to figure out something I'm comfortable with. I can do these, which is made from paint markers. And they're okay. They work all right. You know, not too bad. They look pretty cool. But I really got to come up with a way I could print them out or something like that. I'm just not sure how to do that. And I just haven't had the time to really look into it. I don't want to buy anything that I don't already have because I have tons of materials already. So I'm trying to work with what I got. Okay, bench. How long do we want the bench to be? Thank you, Briscoe. Briscoe, I really do want to start making things where I have a little bit of backstory or fiction attached to them. You know, I enjoy doing that stuff. I like the storytelling aspect of it, the world building aspect. It's always been something I've enjoyed. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 inch, so 7 foot long bench, 8 foot long bench. That's a big bench. I don't know. 6 inches seems kind of. We'll make one that's 6 inches. See what that looks like. Where is my knife? Should have cut this on the hot wire cutter, but it's just so hard to get. I don't want to move the hot wire cutter up here. I don't want to go off screen and work on it, so we're just gonna cut it by hand. How tall should it be? Maybe about there. Duffman, cool, thank you. I will. Actually, I am going to look at them now because I'm interested in Windows at the moment. Duffman, is your toy collector and terrible photographer is your title and description on Instagram? It's pretty rough, man. Okay, so Duffman, those look awesome. And if you want to share how you made them, feel free. I was going to say you'd be great at making your own type of world building through dials. Thank you, Briscoe. Yeah, I kind of want to do... I have some stuff written down for some world building ideas I've had for a long time, but haven't really fully fleshed them out. I'm just not sure how to, you know, what to do with them, but I just need to start. You're right. It would be a good idea to just start something. Box of cannons. I think if I were going to try stained glass, I would 3D print the frames and patterns with a filament printer, then glue clear plastic sheets on the back, mix alcohol ink with clear Elmer's. Alcohol ink with clear Elmer's is something I did not think of, and that's really good because I have all kinds of clear PVA glue, including UV resin, which might work even better than the clear Elmer's, and I have like the most badass set of alcohol inks. As far as the 3D printed windows, yeah, I was experimenting with those. These are someone else's files though that I pulled off Thingiverse and printed out on my Ender 3D. And these are really, really kind of fancy schmancy looking. I did have some custom files that I made in Blender, which I can't find anything now. I really need to organize my workspace. But they were smaller, simpler windows. Man, I tell you, this is the get up and go look for stuff stream. That's what this is. Let me get up and go look for this. Okay, here we go. Yeah, these are just the little ones I made to go. I was gonna do some sidewalls and stuff with these in them, but these are the ones I made in Blender. Not as fancy as these, obviously, but I felt like it fit the aesthetic of what I was going for a little bit more. But I didn't really think about that using clear plastic sheet to the back and mix something to hold alcohol inks as pigment. I did not think of that. So thank you for that. Watch this. This is how unorganized I am. I'm taking a picture of your comment so I'll remember it later with my phone. Okay. What else do we got here? Mod Podge the paper to some clear polystyrene. So you're saying that's just white paper? Just white printer paper? What the heck? Man, your vanishing messages are... It didn't even let me get 1 second out of viewing that. Let me see. Yeah, I probably don't want my phone on camera. Wow, okay, cool. I mean, I have a printer, Duffman, I just didn't... That's wild. Yeah, those look really good. Something to consider. We got all kinds of ideas now. Thanks, guys. That's what it's all about. Okay. What's I gonna do here? Make a stone bench. So this is a wood bench. It's about the right height. What are those? A little bit shy of 1.5 inches. I feel like I'm going to do this and I'm going to need to redo it on hot wire cutter, but maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Good ideas, fellas. Good ideas, for sure. Duffman sounds far easier. Well, yeah, paper, glue. It should work pretty well. Pretty straightforward. I could even jump in Photoshop and make my own pattern. might be able to import an SVG image file for the lines of the stained glass to Blender and then extrude it to make it big. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't think I know how to... SVG. I don't think I know how to... I mean, I know what you're saying, kind of, but How would you get the image lines to extrude? I've never done that, taken an image and got it to actually do anything except use it for reference, which you have to like trace over every single line. Duffman, exactly. Totally cool. I'm totally on board with that. Totally. Stone bench. This is going to be like the plainest stone bench ever. So, probably add some like little something like that to it. Give it a little jazz. First, let's carve it. Let's carve it up. Make it look a little weathered. Just ding it up a bit. It's obviously had a rough life hanging out in this ruined church. Probably need to do one that's like half busted on the floor too. And any of you guys here, if you guys watch any of my videos on YouTube, please leave a comment. Shameless plug. Not really selling anything, but yeah, I could use some more comments on some of these. I'm really going to try to do some more consistency on YouTube. I was really strong on Instagram for a while, and I'm just realizing like I really need to be on YouTube more. It was always kind of the goal, and I just... working on other stuff, kind of keep putting it off, but I'm going to try and be more consistent on posting videos, and I'm still not sure what I'm doing with this live stream. I feel like I need to do something a little regular, and that'll probably happen. To make your black and white vector line art, Photoshop or Illustrator, then you can export it as an SVG file. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've imported an SVG file specifically. In Blender, then you can import it as a mesh. That makes quite a bit of sense. Okay. Alright, box of cans. I might try that out. But I'm probably going to try out the some of the more crafty, hands-on things first. But that is something I'm going to look into for other objects as well. MMCL Plays. Hello. How are you? Just hanging out here. It's 12:40 a.m. in Texas. Just chilling, talking a little bit, squishing a piece of styrofoam with a tinfoil ball. Grown man activities. Oh, Alpha Proto. I didn't even see Alpha Proto until Briscoe pointed him out. Hello, Alpha, if you're still here, and thank you for the compliment on the story. 1:41 a.m. there. East Coast, huh? Kentucky. Kentucky, and someone's gonna drive from California to pick up a diorama? That's a journey. For sure, box of cannons. I'll be here for a little bit. Although I do need to get up and go to the bathroom here in a minute, in between this tea and this water I'm drinking. Thank you, Briscoe. Very nice of you to say. Let's get some. This foam here in Brazil is very expensive. Yeah, man, some places it can be expensive, but look, you can find different building materials wherever you are. You can make dioramas out of cardboard. Sometimes you can find like the foam core board that has like the paper on the outside and the foam in the middle. I've seen people use the spray insulation foam, the kind that expands, and then they carve it up. Obviously it's different, you have to do different things with it, but you could do a lot with clay and plaster. You can make anything out of plaster, and then you have to put a coating on it to harden it. But if you want to make a diorama, there's going to be a way to do it, but I totally understand it. There's a lot of people internationally, different countries. First of all, the foam is called different things in different places, and different manufacturers make it. But some countries they don't use it that much. Also, places where it doesn't get cold, or they don't even, some places don't use air conditioning that much, so insulation, they have different methods. Concrete buildings in lots of places. I don't know if they use this with concrete buildings or not. I mean, maybe. Look at that. That's supposed to be even. That's why I use my hot wire cutter. All right. Let's see if I can do this without totally butchering it. I don't know. The jury's out. Yeah, definitely. It's a good excuse. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, do I want to glue this? No, I think I'm gonna go do the dirty and grab the hot glue gun. That's good. Yeah, if it's the two of them, they can swap off driving, so that's cool. I'm gonna need more glue. Gonna need more glue, and I'm gonna need something so it doesn't leak all over my desk. Look at this glue gun, guys. I have like 3 glue guns, and I keep using the oldest one. This thing is so old. I mean, I've had this glue gun. It's at least 25 years old. It's got, well, yeah, man, shoot, I had to have this since like maybe 1998, 97, something like that. It's crazy. Hold on, let me grab some glue sticks. And actually, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick too. So I'll be right back though. Let me put these dudes right here. All right. That feels better. Hot glue gun going. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it still works, right? And you know what's crazy is I have fancy new glue guns. I have like the Shore Bond wireless one. It charges on the base and you can use it around. And I have, I think it's a Gorilla Glue gun. But both of them drip way more than this old one. This old one, it doesn't, when it heats up, it doesn't drip from the nozzle. So I keep buying new fancy glue guns and I end up using this old POS. This one is getting kind of gunked up though, where it's not feeding quite as well as it used to, but the dripping, the ones that constantly drip, they're a freaking pain in the butt. Are you not hot enough yet? Oh yeah, here we go. You might hear me scream here in a second. Oh, it's still warming up. I have a few tools that are about that old. I got a piece of crap Ryobi scroll saw that I bought to do bases for Warhammer terrain, probably around the same time, right around like 1998. And it was like the cheapest thing they had. It was maybe 90 something bucks, and that thing still runs like a champ. No problems. I mean, it's not like you're not going to get like. Well, I've done some pretty cool stuff with it. You know, I cut letters out of wood, made little signs and stuff. But I'm sure they make more precise scroll saws, but the thing still runs. I'm pretty sure I bought it at Sears, and Sears isn't even around anymore. Alright, what are we going to do with this? Glue right through the middle? The top? I think it's going through the middle. Even though that looks pretty good on its own. Does it need to be fancy pants? We'll make one with it and see what it looks like. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Something like that. So let's bust these up a little bit. Maybe throw a little carving in there too. He's not wrong. I mean, a little bit. I think he kind of overstates how bad hot glue is because he had a couple of bad or one bad run-in with it where it separated. Yeah, so hot glue gun. I think this is probably better long-term solution. PVA glue, white glue in general, I like tacky glue a lot because it sets up pretty quick. But there are some things that if you're going quick, the hot glue gun is sweet. But if you really want to be, get the best of both worlds, and I picked this up from Oiler's Workshop myself. Use them both. You put some Aleene's tacky glue on there, then you hit it in a few spots with a hot glue gun, just like you would use, brad nails in woodworking. You put the glue in, you shoot a few, quick nails in there, and holds it together, or clamps basically. I haven't used the styro goo yet. I keep saying I'm going to, and I never buy the damn stuff. Yeah, Briscoe, exactly. And I have a few really old tools like that too. I got like one of the old school original Milwaukee Sawzalls. It's all like metal. It looks like it's from Fallout. It's just that steel with that red lightning bolt on it, and that thing is like, it'll survive the apocalypse. And I also have a drill that's like that too. I can't remember the brand name. It's not a major, like a big drill or anything, but works really well. And it's just so sturdy. And the funny thing about that drill, it cracked me up when I got it. Because it has a little button on the trigger, and I thought it was a safety button, you know, because that's what everything is now. I'm looking, I'm like, oh, it's a safety button on the trigger of this drill. It's crazy they had a safety button on this. I mean, this thing must have been from like the 60s or 50s, probably 60s. And I'm like, wow, it's crazy they had a safety button. It's not a safety button, it's a cruise control. You put that button on there and the thing doesn't stop spinning. So if you drop it around your foot or something, it catches on you. It's not great, but really saves your hand when you're using it to not have to hold the trigger down all the time. It's just funny how different the mindset was then. They were just trying to get stuff done. Yeah, it cracked me up. I show that to people sometimes. Just it's a funny thing to talk about. Here I am again, being goofy as heck. I need... Alright, I'm gonna do that. Build a little stand for this thing, or just get a cup or something to lay it in. Yo, hot glue gun. I was just saying how awesome you were. You're not gonna work now? Okay, there we go. There we go. Whoa. Easy, killer. One thing I tell you, as I get a little older, my eyes, man, trying to see everything up close is a lot harder. Everything requires a lot more light. Speed over safety, that's my motto. Yeah, I mean, you know, shoot, sometimes you just gotta get stuff done. All the safety stuff is crazy. Some things, you know, you want to be careful around. You have to respect power tools. Table saw. I don't like, you know, I don't take shortcuts when I'm messing with a table saw. Drill. That's pretty hard to hurt yourself with a drill. I mean, I guess you can, but drill press, that's another matter. I will say anything that spins, gotta watch out for that, for sure. Okay, one stone bench. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. I'll do just fine. I think I'll make another one just like that. wait a minute. Let me do the trim first. Let's see how that turns out. Yeah, speed over safety, then you cut off your hand. Yeah, there's that you kind of have to watch out for. Some of the safety stuff can be overstated sometimes. You know, a lot of those are pressed by people that are working in corporations that are like scared to death of liability. But absolutely, you don't want to injure yourself. I don't know if that just looks too much. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do it. Oh man, that's so crooked. Freaking crooked does that look? Not too bad. It's tolerable. Ooh, do I just want to wrap this around? Nah, that looks too futuristic. Looks good. Thank you, man. Yeah, the safety over speed. You can clearly tell there's a little generation gap going on there. But, yeah, I'd like to keep all my fingers if at all possible. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Buddy. Gotta be quick with it. Favorite games? I don't really play a lot lately, although I've played lots of games. I've been playing a little Age of Empires 2 lately on PC through Steam. And Mobile Legends on my iPad I play sometimes. But I used to play like MMOs and some RTSs, and it just depends on what stage of my life. There's a lot of games. Right now it's those two are the ones I'm looking at. I kind of want to play Diablo 4. I'm thinking about it. break this. And I'll make another one to break. That's pretty cool. What time do we got here? It is 1:05. Been on almost 2 hours. Let's see. We can make one more. We'll do another one. Have you been playing? You've been playing Diablo 4? And MMCL, if you have been playing Diablo 4, what have you played it on? Oh, okay, okay. I played the first one when it came out. 2 a little bit, but I didn't like it too much. And I played 3 quite a bit when it first came out. And 3 I enjoyed quite a bit. What console do you think you're going to play it on? PC or... Zombie games, huh? Well, Briscoe, the What a Funk guys are going to be playing. I think Grizz is going to be playing. I don't know. John seemed like he was talking about it. So I think they were kind of talking about maybe trying to find a group of people to play with. Love shooting the heads off zombies. Are you MMCL? Are you an anime watcher at all? Because that's kind of reminding me of High School of the Dead a little bit. Yeah, Briscoe, it would be fun, for sure. I'm just worried, like, I'm just gonna consume my life. I'm really bad with anything like MMOs. Oh man, I've spent way too much time. I was playing this one game called Mystera Legacy, and it's just a it looks like a 16-bit Super Nintendo game, but it's kind of like it's an MMO that's kind of almost like Minecraft meets Final Fantasy, I guess, the early Final Fantasy. But really cool, very sandboxy. You know, if another tribe attacks you and tries to break into your tribe's base, you have to be awake to defend it. It's a persistent world. When you die, you lose, like, you can lose all of your good stuff that's on you. They've kind of changed some of that now, but it really ate up a lot of time for a couple of years, and I get sometimes a little too heavily invested in games like that. Although Diablo probably won't be like that. Probably just get a group together, try to run through the levels, beat it on. I mean, although Diablo can take some time if you start trying to beat all the different difficulty levels. zombies ate my neighbors. Alright, busting out a couple of stone benches for this church ruin stuff. I'm trying to not, I got this lifesaver in my mouth. I'm sure that's probably coming through the microphone a little bit. Favorite movies? Man, that's not a question I could actually answer. But, you know, I like lots of movies. Mostly science fiction or fantasy. I really like the Lord of the Rings movies are really good, but older than that, you know, like Conan, Mad Max, Army of Darkness, Starship Troopers. Braveheart. I like a lot of those action-y war epic movies. I don't know, it's probably like the toxic masculinity playlist now, but like Troy, Braveheart, all that kind of stuff. We Were Soldiers, Black Hawk Down. Medieval type of movies or zombies. Yeah, so like yeah, lots of that medieval stuff I like too. Zombies, I can dig zombie movies. Dig zombie movies. Medieval movies, I'm trying to think. Kingdom of Heaven wasn't too bad. That was pretty cool. I actually just bought Braveheart again because I haven't seen it in so long. I picked it up at Half Price Books on DVD. I'm gonna try and I watch that tomorrow while I'm filming the YouTube video of me making that other wall. Briscoe, man, I don't know. They're both really good. I really enjoyed both of them. Ooh. That's really hard. I kind of want to lean towards Braveheart a little bit, even though Gladiator is a bit more epic. I don't know how to put it, but I don't know. They're both really good. Yeah. Yeah, they both give you that feeling sometimes, you know, like you're ready to go take on the world kind of thing. The just cause and the injustice of it all that stuff. But I don't know. Like I said, I guess I'm leaning Braveheart, but it's really slight. Gladiator was really, really good. What's another one from then? I mean, the Conan movies were great. Both of those I loved. hard time thinking of stuff from back then. I actually like the early Harry Potter movies. I mean, they were all okay. Jumper. You remember Jumper? That was kind of a cool movie. Thank you. Needs to be conditioned. I worked this morning and I haven't washed it since then. Okay. It's gonna go together just fine. Duffman made me paranoid about using just the hot glue. Come on, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I couldn't stand him in Star Wars, actually, but I really liked the Jumper movie. There you are, Duffman. You're listening. I wasn't sure if you were still around. Yeah, now I like the prequels. People were talking smack about it, but now they seem like the greatest things ever made after the movies that came out later. But I couldn't stand Hayden Christensen's acting in that. Like, it just... I liked the kid they had that played young Anakin. But those... I love you, Padme! All those scenes, oh my goodness, I couldn't handle it. It was just... too cheese. Well, this is good. You know, I made some progress tonight. I probably wouldn't have done this much if I didn't start the live stream, actually. So it's good. It kind of kept me on task. I'm dying to watch an episode. I'm going through Star Trek Enterprise right now. It's kind of late, though. I might put one on as I wind down for the night. I really like this license-free chill stream music, though, as I hit pause on it accidentally. It's one of the few ones I found on YouTube that actually doesn't copyright strike me. A lot of them say they're copyright free, and you put them on and you get copyright struck immediately. So this one's nice. Beastmaster. Oh yeah, dude. Beastmaster was cool. Yeah, chill music. I like chill music. I like all the lo-fi hip-hop and all that kind of stuff that they do now. Chill vibes, man. Always liked anything that's kind of just relaxed. I use a lot of that stuff in my Instagram reels, actually. Okay, I had all this good stuff to say about this glue gun, and the trigger is just like not wanting to function now. Maybe another 6 years I'll have to replace it. Yeah, I'm burning my finger right there with some hot glue. That feels nice. Who would win in a fight, DC or Marvel? I don't know. I think it's Marvel. And when I say I think it's Marvel, I don't know that much about the really big powers in DC, but I know like Marvel has some really, really crazy godlike entities running around. I mean, even one guy, a villain. I don't know if any of you guys ever read the Secret Wars comic book series. That's the one where Spider-Man gets the black alien symbiote. But I read it when I was a kid, and there's this one guy, Molecule Man, and they're traveling on an asteroid that he, somehow made an atmosphere for. They're trying to get back to Earth or something, and he literally just like snuffs out all the stars in the galaxy or something because I don't remember what the reason was, but he just kind of like turned them off, and they talked to him a little bit and convinced him to turn them all back on. So I'm going Marvel based on that. Eduardo, I can't do Rush, man. Rush is copyrighted music. I wish I could, because I definitely do like some Rush. But any of the stuff that's easily recognizable, copyright music, I wouldn't be able to get away with doing that. The glue gun is the devil! Can be. Can be at times. Yeah, it looks a little cooler. Looks just too square there for stone. I'm waiting for one of these legs to just bust off in my hand so Duffman can just go off on the glue gun some more. It's not going off already. MCL plays. Thank you, man. I like the chill vibes for sure. Craft and chill, man. The craft and chill. Yeah, Briscoe. Well, nothing stays the same forever, I guess. It's how things always go. Something starts, someone makes something cool, a bunch of early adopters get in and have fun with it for a while, and then the mainstream crawls in, the lawyers get a hold of it, and never quite the same. MMCL, you can time travel, man. But you can only move forward, unfortunately. Yeah. Just gotta deal with how things unfold around you. Learning how to deal with that is basically the entire journey of life. Yeah, Briscoe is like ready to get back to the 80s every minute of every day. Freaking thing. Watch, as soon as this is over, I'm gonna go on Amazon and buy another glue gun. just so I can have 4 glue guns. Maybe I'll find one. I'll look for the cheapest rinky-dink one instead of the fancy one. Maybe I'll be happier with that. Also, I'm not going to give up on this glue gun. I will do my best to take it apart and clean it out, because that's probably what's going down. Either something is gunked up or the feed mechanism in here somehow is worn down over time, and it's just not performing as well as it used to. Yeah, you're totally right. I'll buy it, probably not use the new glue gun. I'm already thinking about how to take apart this one and repair it, so. You know what, if I take it apart, I'm gonna I'll customize it. Maybe I'll paint it or something, give it a fancy paint job. Cool. 2 stone benches. Is 2 enough? Let's see what it looks like on this floor. Yeah. That'll look cool. It'll look cool, man. It'll look cool. Here's the floor. So what do I need? Maybe one with no legs, some busted stuff. Yeah, let's do one with no legs. Kind of hard to see it, but looking pretty cool. Yeah, man, eat something. Get you one like Vasco toys. 18-volt battery operated, one the size of a drill. Because he has one of those giant. I need to check that out. I don't remember what he's got, but yeah, they've gotten pretty fancy with hot glue guns these days. They used to be totally rinky-dink, and now they're like going wild. Another thing, I was cleaning out my garage and I found my old hot wire cutter. Is this going to be part of the get up and go find it stream? I think I left it downstairs. But it was just the old style, you know, it's a cardboard tube that you put 2 C batteries in. It's got that little metal arm with the wire through it. That was like the only hot wire cutter that I ever saw being used by anyone for more than a decade. And then they started damn, that was fast, dude. I wish you got better snacks on deck than I do. I need to get some snacks tonight. I already ate dinner, but usually when I used to stream more, I would always keep on hand like some crackers and stuff just to have something to. You know what? I got some almonds right here. Let me try some of those. Flash. Little honey roasted almonds, not too bad. Whoop. Still about the same amount of people on here. I'm surprised people aren't passing out yet. Although I guess it is Friday night. Duffman's probably falling asleep right now, surrounded by trees and dinosaurs on the floor in the kitchen or something. So what kind of snack did you get, man? I don't mess with those energy drinks anymore, Duffman. I'm done. I'm done. I barely even drink coffee anymore. I used to drink like 3 or 4 pots of coffee a day. Everything in excess instead of moderation. But I'll drink a little coffee once in a while. But tea mostly. Black tea is enough to get me going a little bit. But I'm done with those energy drinks, man. Anyone have a list of summer movies to watch? No? Briscoe? Oh, some Doritos? Doritos are cool. Cool Ranch or, you know, the cheese. But they have those weird flavors now, too. I like Cool Ranch myself. List of summer movies. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do for Halloween. I'm not... I guess I'm the wrong one on that, Briscoe. Star Trek. Every time of the year I like watching Star Trek, so if there's some on, I'll watch that. Red Bull when I train boxing, it helps. I mean, sure. It'll get you going. I used to drink Red Bulls when I worked on nights. That's around when they first came out, and they were stronger then. I'd pound like 2 or 3 of them. I was stocking at a grocery store, and back then when they first came out, it wasn't a good idea to pound 2 or 3 of them. My heart would, my hands would be shaking and stuff sometimes. It was probably not the smartest thing, but they toned it down since then because they had some problems with that original formula, I'm pretty sure. Okay, alright. Briscoe, you're a little bit more organized with your movie watching than I am, then, for sure. Because I'm just kind of like, whatever. The last movie I watched was the new Dungeons & Dragons movie, because it was on streaming on, I don't know, one of those services. I think it was probably Paramount that I have through Amazon. So what are you planning on watching this summer, Briscoe? I'm sure you got some good ones on there. What do you like for the summer? Action-y stuff? Speed? Things like that? Was the new D&D movie good? It was alright. I'm not a harsh critic usually of most things, though, unless they're too obviously like agenda driven. That gets a little annoying, but it was all right. There's an actiony fantasy romp. It's a little too goofy at some points for me, but it wasn't bad. Fast X. I haven't seen any of the Fast and the Furious movies except the first one. Maybe the second one, but I can't remember. I think I saw the second one. So I kind of have been thinking I need to go through and see at least some of them, if not all of them. You know, at least like Tokyo Drift or something. I gotta start checking off some of those fast movies. Indiana Jones. I need to rewatch the old ones. That's what I need to do. I need to rewatch all of the old Indiana Jones. It's been a while since I've seen them. And they're always fun to watch, especially if you haven't seen them for a few years. I still haven't seen Crystal Skull. Come on, why is it always on the last dot where you need to come out before everything dries? Dream car. That's a chat. Excuse me. That's more of a chat question. I'm not a car guy. Although a pretty sweet RV would be nice. Waterworld, Spawn, Dazed and Confused, Half Baked, Private Parts. Lots of anime as well. All those are good. All those are good for sure. Waterworld I liked a lot. Spawn was fun. Dazed and Confused was when I was going through my stoner phase. I watched that movie easily 100 times. I used to just watch it over and over again. Yeah. All right. You know what I love about them high school girls. Yeah, that movie. What a trip. Oh, I'm lucky to have not seen The Crystal Skull. That's a ringing endorsement. Sounds like you've been hanging around old Joe real shift a bit with that, but no, I'm sure it's probably not great. Colored glue. No, I have not used colored hot glue. Have not. Does it come in a wide variety of colors or just a few? Whoops. Too much glue, too much glue. that nostalgia always gets you on stuff like that. Very cool, though. Black hot glue for aliens diorama. It turned out amazing. Not sure how many colors there are. Alright. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I could see how that would look pretty sweet. Hot glue is just so easy to apply. Well, except when you're burning your fingers or it's getting everywhere that you don't want it to, but it is very convenient. Yeah, Briscoe, I feel you on that. I'm kind of right there. I'm turning into like the grumpy old man. I'm like, I don't even want to see anything new anymore. There's plenty of movies that came out in the 80s and 70s and 90s that I never saw before. If I want to watch something new, I could watch one of those. But, I mean, there's still new stuff that I like sometimes. Sometimes some of the stuff I like, people are like, it's horrible, how could you like that? Like Cowboy Bebop. Everyone was trash talking the remake, the Netflix version of it. Yes, I've seen the anime, but I actually enjoyed the Netflix version. I enjoyed the Halo series they did too. I thought that was pretty cool. I hope they do a second season. Okay, I haven't seen White Powder Bear. I need to see that though. I need to watch that one. Maybe we just need use some of these chunks to make some bits. That was probably a bit too much taken off there, but that'll be alright. Yeah, the CGI is a bit too much now sometimes, that's for sure. Making a roof for my creepy Dracula castle right now, Eduardo. That sounds cool. That sounds cool, man. Creepy Dracula castle sounds cool. Horror vibes. Knock at the Cabin was a real good movie. You know, there's a movie I've never seen, but I want to see it, and it kind of like was popping up in some of my TikToks, like clips from it. Baby Driver. Anyone see Baby Driver? Thought that was a good movie. Thought it sucked. It looked pretty cool to me. Looked like something I might enjoy. Planning to do a World War diorama. Oh, that sounds good. For sure. Actually, my dad used to build, like when he was a kid, little World War II model kits. They had a lot of that in my grandparents' basement because my grandpa was a bombardier on a B-17. So we had a B-17. He had, I don't remember what the name of the fighter plane was, P something, and the submarine, the Kitty Hawk. But a World War II or World War I diorama. World War I diorama would be pretty cool if you could do like the trenches and no man's land in between. That would be pretty neat. Yeah, Baby Driver, the clip I saw, looks good. Does look good. Okay. Let's see, what have we... Look at how much freaking stuff there is. Oh, God. That's not the zoom! Not the zoom! Foam leavings. Freaking everywhere. 1/35 scale World War II dials. Neat. I sent you a box of cannons. I sent you a picture on Instagram of the brick wall I made with a laser cutter engraver. They were just super simple backgrounds, nothing like what you were doing here. So, box of cannons, you're using the laser cutter to actually engrave the bricks in the foam. I know High School Creations does that. It's something I wanted to do a long time ago, but I never spent the time with the laser cutter to make it happen. Let me see. Those came out nice, man. Nice. You even put in the... There we go. Came out good. Oh, I'm sure it's way faster. What kind of laser cutter do you have? Yeah, they look good. Something like that. That'll work. We'll paint it up, throw some moss on there, it'll look good. On sale for $180 on Amazon when I got it. Nice, nice. I have been debating. I mean, I have several 3D printers. I've played with the CNC machine that this guy let me borrow for a little while years ago, but I haven't messed with the laser. I bought a little mini laser when I was thinking about doing this with the foam, but I just never got very far. And it was old school piece of crap. Stuff they have now is way, way better. It wasn't really realistically going to happen because it was a really small, garbagey one. But 180 bucks, man, you're able to do that. That's really, really sweet. Did it come with the software, or do you have to use, what is that, Lightburn? Is that the one that's open source? Fallout. I played Fallout. But I played some of the old ones on PC, like Fallout 1 and 2, and then I played the first Fallout that came out on Xbox. I think it was Fallout 3, I want to say. I never played New Vegas, so whatever one came out before New Vegas is what I was playing. And the system they implemented for the game consoles, the newer stuff, I'm saying newer stuff, it's like over 10 years old now, I'm sure. It was good. I liked it. Just doing a little cleanup. Came with its own software. Nice. Nice. Yeah, Fallout is an awesome series, and the time frame that Fallout came out, the original Fallout on computer, was like right before or right around when the internet was really starting to kind of happen. There wasn't too many people on it. And the philosophy behind making games for that period of time was, how can we make a game as open world as possible where you can do whatever you want? The consequences of your actions, you know, might be felt, but like in the original Fallout, you could break the game. If you killed the wrong people, you couldn't actually finish certain quests and stuff. So it's very funny how now we have the culture in gaming where it's kind of like they try to, it has opened up again. Minecraft kind of brought it back to people's mind, like, oh, just having an open world is really fun. But you know, you went through like WoW, which is very much like a theme park where they try to herd you everywhere. So that mentality kind of took over for a while. All those games that are very almost linear, but not. But I really like the open games. I like games that have consequence. I like, you know, if it's an MMO, when you die, you should lose a bunch of stuff. There should be risk. It makes it feel a lot better. There should be some level of PvP in the game. And I even like PvP that you don't have to agree to. That can be harsh sometimes, and a lot of people don't like it, but it just makes the game experience so much more intense. New Vegas is the best of newer games. I haven't played it. I have been toying with the idea of doing a gaming channel, though. I just know that it's gonna probably take up too much time, but I'm not sure, because I do still play games occasionally. So maybe if I could limit it to, you know, a few hours here and there, that would be cool. Although it's never been the way I've played games. It's always been way more than a few hours here or there. But I did a few videos on little web-based games probably about 7 or 8 years ago now, 6 or 7 years ago, on a different YouTube channel, not Random Diorama. It's actually Johnny Zero, I think is what it was, one of my old gamer tags. But doing some game videos, game content might be cool. My computer is a potato. I do have a good laptop, but I only use it for video editing. But there's no way I would be streaming and playing a game on this computer. It won't even handle most games right now. So I'd have to do something about that first. I might be able to play on a console and stream through the computer, but maybe. Streaming is pretty intense sometimes. Look at this thing. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Bolter. Yeah, man, this is Joy Toy Warhammer 40k Ultramarines Dreadnought, and then Blade Guard Veterans. Really, really cool. Really like all the detail on these. No, I haven't built that. These are manufactured by a company, Joy Toy. But what they are is like they're toy versions of the little model kits they used to sell for, and they still sell for, Games Workshop Warhammer toys. But you know, it's the toy version, but pretty detailed, pretty sweet. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all the paint looks good. All the little details. Really cool. They really did a good job with like the glossy kind of stuff, like the metallic look. Looks really good. And all these are like rubber, so they can actually move the little seals and stuff. It's not hard plastic. The motion for something like this is actually pretty decent because it's basically just a statue, really. Yeah, I was showing them before, like all the little struts move around. I thought that was pretty impressive. This one is around 130, I want to say, so it's definitely, they're not giving them away, but pretty cool. And these guys are something like 55, 60, in the $60 range, I want to say. So they're a little pricey. Yeah. They're not marketing them to kids, that's for sure. But Joy Toy makes some pretty highly detailed stuff. All right, guys. Well, it's about to be 2 o'clock here, and I'm gonna get off. Appreciate very much everyone hanging out. Conversation was great. You guys kept me company while I got some stuff done, and hopefully I'm gonna go steal my mom's car. I don't need to know about that, but have fun with it. Hopefully I see you guys again sometime when I'm on here. I'm gonna try and do this more often. Hope everyone has a good night. Take care. Hey, and when I post this, when this comes up as live, feel free to go leave a comment on it too, because that helps too. Thanks. Later, guys.